Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about one of the awesome new developments by AutoTuner. Essentially they have just released the Audi 8Y RS3 unlock. So that means now we're able to get the full file out of the ECU, tune it, and also do some reverse engineering. So today I'm going to show you how to get into the reverse engineering side with the AutoTuner's file that they're able to get with this RS3 8Y. So here we go. This is the read. As you can see, it's a full file. So we've got everything that we need for reverse engineering. It's not just the calibration area. It is also the code areas as well. So I'm just going to show you some basic things and how I would load this into Ghidra, for example. So the first thing I'm going to do is export what I've already got. And that's just straight from the car pretty much. So if I go Audi 8Y RS3 and then MG1 CS163, and then we're just going to go AutoTuner. Okay, .bin. Fantastic. So I'm going to go into here and basically load in a new file. So we're going to go here, load in this new file, and choose our language. I'm just going to go with a generic tri-core language of the TC29X series, okay? And options, base address, of course, at that base address that we're so familiar with. And I'm just going to call this in Flash, okay? All right, let's get started on this. Fantastic. I've already identified the general purpose registers and also register A9. So register A9 is at this address here. Okay, register A9. And we've got the general purpose registers here as well, which I've already identified. Okay, there we go. Cool. GPRs, registers. And the first thing that I am going to do once I've identified these is calculate the full address. So if we go calculator, go to hex mode, go 7001, okay, and then take 660. Oh, apologies, 7001, take 6600. That gives us this address here, which is the value of A1. Okay, then we've got A0. And then we've got A1, which is 7980. Cool. Okay, so we got A1 equals, boom. A8 is, take 7200. All right. So we got A8 equals that. And then we know A9 is this address here. So we go A9 equals that. Now what we can do is go copy that, Control R, A0, copy this, Control R, A1, copy this, A8, and copy this, A9. Okay, save. All right, go back to A9 and I'm going to go and select a whole bunch of addresses so that we can basically define our function table here. Okay. P for pointer. Okay. Each one of these is a reference to the first map of a particular module, such as BBSOTUN, sound tuning, or ZWGRU for the base ignition tables, for example. Now that that's done, I'm going to go and find where our calibration area is and start defining everything except that. So I'm going to open up a defined file that I've got here, and let's just find an example of where our calibration area is. So that's this top bit here. That's all of our calibration area. If you press O, you get an overview as well, and that will give us an idea of where our data areas are. Okay, unrecognized and program code, that's usually where our processor code is, which is all the instructions, and then all of this data here where it's got the green, that's our possible maps, which is what we've actually identified here. So I'm going to go down to obviously here okay, which is really, let's have a look. Cool. 80201234. Boom. Dead beef. So that is a good identifying set of 4 bytes, which separates the different parts of the file or segments. I'm being very, very lazy here. I'm just going to go ahead and select a random point here. I'm going to make sure these two are on. And I'm going to select this, and I'm just going to highlight pretty much the entire file and press D. That's going to start the disassembly process. And we've got our register A9 defined, and we've got our A0, A1, A8 defined. So these are our general purpose registers. We must define these. And once we've defined these, all of the different references, whether they're indirect referencing or direct referencing, or however else we have a reference to a register from a register, we now are going to have all of this completed. So we're going to know what RAM the process is interacting with, what maps the process is interacting with. And just to prove to you that the AutoTuner have got the full file, I'm going to go ahead and find you a reference to one of the maps in the file. So I can basically show that to you now. Example that a lot of people want to play with might be something to do with the sound tune. So I'm just going to go actually there's no sound tuning in this particular RS38Y from memory, so I might go to something different. Let's say if we go, I'm just going to type in moment, right? Maybe max moment or something to do with one of the maximum torque tables, for example, would be a great idea. Maybe something like MD norm, where there's a lot of references to it. So I'm going to go ahead and find this particular map in our software version. Okay, MD norm is there. Transfer nothing. There we go. Okay, see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 different functions, or there's 8 different types of modules which reference this. So let's confirm this here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are all different types of modules or functions. So that means we should have that many references to this part of the flash. Currently we've got 1. We can go ahead and go map MD norm. And you can see here that there's an address pointer here. Okay, so that's 1 current reference to it. Without a full memory, as in the calibration and code areas, you wouldn't get references to maps at all. There wouldn't be any references. In fact, you wouldn't even have this. You wouldn't even have this. It's some of the basic stuff. So very excited to work with AutoTuner's new Audi RS3 platform. There's a lot of things that can be done: multi-mapping, flex fuel, anti-lag. So you'll see a lot of these solutions coming out by my company Laborde Systems to the world. So looking very much forward. Thank you for watching.